Okay, this is during the time, if you watch the last two videos, during this time where I lived on Vera, the ETs would call me down to the river to give me a sighting. One night, the ETs would call me down to the river and I'd get nothing. And it was all about feeling in my heart them, which was seed oriented. So, here's the next event, and this one blew me away. So I was expecting to see a craft at this time. At this time I went out. So 3 o'clock comes around. The ETs are saying, "Go to the river, go to the river." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on my way." This is like the 20th fucking time in the summer. Go to the river. So I go to the river. And I'm sitting there, not by the tree this time, I was at the railing. Now I don't know if the bow thing happened first or the bow experience with bow, or if this came later. I think this came before bow's experience. These are not all dated particular, or they're just experiences I had relating to that time frame. So that's the best I can put it together. So I go down to the river and I'm sitting there and I'm waiting to see these UFOs. I got my camera, got my coffee, whatever. I'm sitting there and I'm waiting to see a UFO. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. So it was like 15 minutes, 20 minutes went by, something like that. And finally I got bored and I hooked up to the ETs again. Felt them. You know, the stare. They're staring at you from the sky, but you don't see nothing. So I just felt that and said, "What the fuck? Are we gonna do this or what? I could be at home sleeping." And as soon as I hooked up, I didn't even ask them anything. They hit me. Go home, go home. I ain't gonna fucking go home. I mean, what do you? I'm thinking, is this me? Is this me talking? Or is it them? They just told me to come down here. 20 minutes later, they're telling me to get the, go home now, go home now. Just they're yelling, go home, go home. They're pointing. I can see my house. You know what was really weird? I could see where I live on Vera from their perspective. And they're go, leave, go home. And I'm looking at my house. I'm standing in fucking Dia Park, 3 o'clock in the morning. They're telling me to go home, and I just got here when they told me to come here. They're saying, "Go home now, go home now." And I'm like, am I fucking crazy? Or are they fucking pulling some bullshit? And I'm spiritually, I'm seeing my house. And I question that. And I'm like, why the fuck am I seeing my house from a perspective in the sky? Like I can see the trees in the neighborhoods, and there's my house. Go, that's their point. They're yelling at me. Go, go, go. Constantly. I question myself. I get done questioning myself. I go home. It's still there. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, fuck it. I'm out of here. Fuck it. I'm going to say I'm going to bed. Fuck it. Fuck y'all. I'm going to bed. So I get up. I'm going home. Look at me. I'm on my bike. I'm going home. You know, just being a prick. But I didn't know any better. Crazy. So I get home, go to sleep, fuck it. No UFOs tonight. I get done and I go, I don't know what kind of weird shit they're doing to me. But, whatever, I did it. I wake up in the morning, I go to the coffee shop, get a coffee before work. And, well, actually, I go there and have a coffee, then I'll go home and sleep again. Then I'll go to work. But I'm there in the morning, and the newspaper, Windsor-Star. Look it up if you want. I don't even know the date, but it's in that time frame. Maybe some of you newspaper people that read the newspaper and know how to do that newspaper stuff. You try to research something online for the newspaper that happened a while ago, years ago, you can't do it. I don't know how to do it. Fuck it. I'm telling you a story, you can look it up if you want. I opened the newspaper and it said, huge meteorite. It's a huge meteorite last night. When I was down the river, huge meteor entered the atmosphere. Thousands of people seen it. It was radared and everything, and everybody was freaking out, calling the radio stations and stuff. Huge meteorite. And they said it came so close, like it came close to the earth. People were looking for pieces of it and stuff like this. And it came in a Tecumseh. It broke apart in a fireball over near Tecumseh. Well, that was in Dieppe, so Tecumseh's over here, outside of Windsor, but it's connected to Windsor. And it almost hit the earth, like meteorite. And they said if it would have hit anywhere, it would have destroyed it would have made a huge crater and destroyed a huge portion of wherever it hit in the Windsor area. So if it would have hit and this is what the newspaper was saying, something like this. If it would have hit in Windsor, it would have destroyed a fucking kilometer of the city. And there would have been huge devastation and fucking earthquakes and everything. And I'm like, holy fuck. Because I remember what happened last night. The ETs called me down there, and then they were telling me to go home. But they didn't tell me why. Or I couldn't hear it. And then I put two and two together. The thing is, the ET didn't know if it would hit or not. That's what I'm thinking. It wasn't logical. Out of nothing. But it was my contact, my heart. It seeds. So, you get it? The ETs told me to go home. And I just got there. Now, alright, I just got there and they're telling me to go home. But I didn't know why until the next morning I woke up and read the newspaper. The huge fucking meteorite almost destroyed Windsor. There you go. But it didn't. It broke apart. It went a different area. But if it would have stayed together, it would have hit Windsor and boom. And that was in the newspaper. Something exactly like that. Now the date was 90s. Yeah, late 90s. 90. Jesus Christ, I didn't go to Vancouver yet. So it would have been 98, 99. 1990. Or no, it wasn't 2000. Fuck. 93. 80s. It would have been 80. Sorry, it would have been 80, 89, 90. Pretty sure. So if you want to go in the archives and look in the Windsor Star, or know what you're doing when that happened, how to research that shit, you can find it. And also, at the same time frame, look for the part where a satellite got moved. CBC satellite mysteriously moves out of geosynchronous orbit and cancels the football game from Ontario East. So if you can research that too, do it, because that's cool, man. Send me a copy, man. I tried, and I got to sign up for 100,000 library things and newspaper things, and fuck it, I ain't doing all that shit, so fuck it. I know what happened, I know, and that's it. It'd be great to have proof. I used to have proof. Maybe I'll dig it up. Maybe I do have proof. I'll check it. Okay, so that was another seed experience with the ETs, more or less. Yeah, that was a seed experience. Alright, later guys.